Emily, a bright and ambitious junior in college, was deeply committed to her relationship with Mike. She was the kind of person who could juggle a full course load, a part-time job, and maintain a long-term relationship with striking balance. Her world revolved around textbooks, late-night study sessions, and weekend trips to a certain hometown a few hours away. That hometown belonged to Mike, her boyfriend since sophomore year. Emily was dedicated to Mike, her heart filled with love and trust, despite the whispers that sometimes reached her ears, whispers about Mike's wandering eye. Emily chose to stay on campus during the summer, trading the sandy beaches for the quiet halls of the library. She had a plan: work, take summer session courses, and keep the flame of her relationship with Mike alive. As she moved into her summer housing, she met Alex, a fellow student and a kind-hearted guy who offered to help her with the move. Alex was as warm as the summer sun, his friendliness genuine and unassuming. Over the weeks, Emily and Alex's paths crossed more often than not. A shared class here, a chance encounter at the library there, and soon they struck up a friendship. Alex was respectful, always keeping a respectful distance, aware of Emily's commitment to Mike. But as their friendship blossomed, he couldn't help but notice something. When Emily talked about Mike, there was a subtle shift in her demeanor, a hint of unease that suggested something more than just simple relationship troubles. It was the kind of change that made Alex's heart ache, but he kept his concerns to himself, hoping he was wrong. Over the weeks, Emily and Alex struck up a friendship, and he couldn't help but notice the signs of emotional abuse in Emily's demeanor whenever she talked about Mike. This was the blissful beginning, a period of sunshine and shadows, of friendships forged and suspicions kindled, a time before the storm that was about to unfold. Emily's weekends were routine trips to Mike's place, where she cherished their time together. It was a rhythm she had come to know and love. The journey, a few hours long, was a small price to pay for the warmth of Mike's embrace, the comfort of his laughter, the familiarity of his smile. She'd pack her bag every Friday evening, anticipation bubbling within her, a sweet, earnest joy that colored her whole weekend. But then came the fateful weekend. A weekend that started just like any other, but ended in a storm of heartbreak and disbelief. As she walked into Mike's apartment that day, she found him in the arms of another. The sight hit her like a freight train, the world spinning around her as she grappled with the reality of the situation. She'd heard the whispers, the rumors that Mike's eye wandered, but she'd brushed them off. Mike was hers, and she was his. The thought of him betraying her trust was unthinkable, unimaginable, and yet there it was, playing out right before her very eyes. The betrayal was as clear as day, a harsh, ugly truth that shattered her blissful bubble. The shock was palpable, a tangible force that left her breathless. It was like a cruel punch to the gut, leaving her reeling, her heart pounding in her chest. She couldn't understand it, couldn't make sense of it. This wasn't the Mike she knew, the Mike she loved. This was a stranger, a cruel imposter who wore Mike's face, and as she stood there, heartbroken and betrayed, she felt a part of her crumble. She felt the trust she had placed in Mike shatter, the love she had for him tainted by his deceit. The pain was sharp, a raw, searing wound that seemed to echo her broken heart. It wasn't the first time, but Emily, young and hopeful, had always given Mike another chance. She'd always believed in him, in them. But this time, it was different. This time, the damage was too great, the trust too broken. This time, Emily was left to pick up the pieces of her shattered heart, alone. Heartbroken and betrayed, Emily confided in Alex about Mike's infidelity. In the aftermath of the shocking revelation, Emily found herself in an emotional storm. The pain of betrayal cut deep, and the wound was fresh and raw. She was caught in a whirlwind of confusion, hurt, and anger, and she felt as though the ground beneath her had been ripped away. As she grappled with the enormity of Mike's betrayal, her heartache was compounded by his manipulative tactics. Mike was a master of deception, adept at twisting the truth and distorting reality. He played on Emily's insecurities, gaslighting her into believing that she was blowing things out of proportion. He painted himself as a remorseful man, truly sorry for his actions, promising change and vowing to do better. Emily, still deeply in love with Mike, wanted to believe his promises. She wanted to believe that he was truly sorry, that he would change, that things would go back to how they used to be. She clung to the fragments of their relationship, desperately trying to piece them back together. She fell for his lies once again, unable to shake off the feeling of betrayal. She was caught in a vicious cycle of hurt and forgiveness, a cycle that was slowly eating away at her self-esteem and sense of self-worth. But every time she looked in the mirror, she saw a woman who was losing herself in the process of trying to save a relationship that was beyond repair. She saw a woman who was settling for less than what she deserved, blinded by love and the false hope of a better future with Mike. Every tear she shed, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt and insecurity, they were all signs of a relationship that was causing her more harm than good. They were all signs of a love that was not built on respect, trust, and mutual understanding, but on lies, manipulation, and deceit. Alex, seeing through Mike's facade, couldn't stand by and watch Emily suffer any longer. His heart ached every time he saw Emily's smile fade into a frown, her eyes clouded by a storm of confusion and betrayal. The time to act was now. He knew confronting Mike was not going to be easy. After all, Mike, with his silver tongue and masterful manipulation, had skillfully woven a web of deceit around Emily. But Alex was determined. He had seen enough, heard enough, and he was ready to stand up for his friend. One day, he decided to pay Mike a visit. The atmosphere was tense as he stepped into the lion's den. He was met with a smug grin from Mike, who was blissfully unaware of the storm that was about to hit him. Alex didn't waste a moment. He looked Mike straight in the eyes, his voice steady and strong. "Emily deserves better than you, Mike. She deserves honesty and respect, not your lies and manipulation." The words echoed in the room, carrying the weight of truth and conviction. Mike tried to brush off Alex's accusations, but Alex was relentless. He revealed every bit of Mike's deception, every lie he had told, every promise he had broken. He painted a vivid picture of the emotional wreck that Mike's actions had left Emily in. But Alex didn't stop there. He urged Emily to see the truth, to open her eyes to the reality that was Mike's true nature. He told her about the whispers, the rumors, the signs of deceit that she had chosen to ignore. He reminded her of how she deserved to be treated, of the love and respect that should define any relationship. Emily listened, her heart heavy with the burden of truth. The realization was painful, but necessary. She had been living in a lie, blinded by her love for Mike, but now she saw him for what he truly was, a deceiver, a manipulator, a betrayer. Finally, with Alex's unwavering support, Emily found the strength to break free from Mike's grip. She wiped her tears, took a deep breath, and with a newfound determination, she made the decision that would change her life forever. She was ready to leave Mike, to step out of the shadows of deceit and into the light of truth. Emily ended the toxic relationship for good, realizing that she deserved so much more. A profound moment of clarity washed over her as she severed the ties that had bound her to Mike. It was a decision that required courage, strength, and an unflinching belief in her self-worth. Emily had awakened to the truth of her situation, a truth that had been obscured by the veil of manipulation and deceit. She found herself standing at the precipice of a new chapter in her life, a chapter that was untainted by the echoes of betrayal and untruth. As she looked back, she could see the journey she had taken, the challenges she had faced, and the lessons she had learned. The path was fraught with heartbreak and disappointment, yet it was also marked by resilience and growth. In this journey, Emily evolved into a stronger, wiser individual. She learned the importance of self-respect and the value of her own worth. She realized that she was more than just a victim of circumstances, she was a survivor. She understood that she had the power to control her destiny and that it was her right to demand respect and honesty in her relationships. This transformation was not easy, and it was not immediate. It was a gradual process that required patience, introspection, and a lot of soul-searching. But Emily was not alone in this journey. Alex, the kind-hearted friend who had been there from the start, stood by her side. He was her rock, her beacon of hope in the darkest of times. His unwavering support helped Emily navigate the turbulent waters of her relationship. He gave her the strength to stand up for herself and to confront the harsh realities of her situation. He was a constant reminder that she was not alone, that she was valued, and that she was strong. Emily's gratitude towards Alex knew no bounds. He had shown her a kindness that was genuine and selfless. He had been a friend in the truest sense of the word, standing by her side when she needed him the most. As she looked towards the future, she knew that she would never again let herself be caught in the web of deceit. Emily emerged from this experience not as a victim, but as a victor. She had faced the storm and emerged stronger, ready to face whatever the future had in store for her.